start recording, Catherine, and I will get you to start by saying and spelling out your first and surnames as I get the volumes right, and your official title.
Okay, my name is Catherine Wilkes, Kathryn Wilkes, and I am the founding member of No Cashless Debit Card Australia Group.
And Catherine, so what are your thoughts on more people being put on this cashless welfare card in our region?
It doesn't work, and all it's going to do is bring more hardship, more financial ruin, and more homelessness to the region.
And so why? Yeah. So you don't think it's a good idea for more people to be placed on the system?
Absolutely not. It doesn't do what they claim it does. It doesn't stop people from accessing drugs or alcohol, and we're talking about a very small amount of the population. The constant assumption that everybody on a social security payment is drinking to excess and boozing and gambling is absolutely offensive. And considering the harm that this card has already caused to so many families in our region, let alone across the rest of the country where it's up to age 67, all right, we have a homeless crisis. I don't see why we should be funneling money to a private company that will cause more damage to families. It doesn't save anybody from drinking. If people want to drink, they will drink. They will find workarounds and they will do what they want to do to get their alcohol. But we're talking about the majority of people here, and I noticed they miss out the fact that it's parents on this card, working parents, single parents, coupled families. Do you know what I mean? As well as youth and job seekers. Seriously, when you're talking about with the youth being on base rate payments, they don't even have enough to pay rent, let alone wasted. I'm sorry, but spending data in 2019 showed prohibited items were less than 3% of all purchases anyway. I don't know where this data's come from, or has Anne Ruston been fudging the data about the card declines? All right. Why wasn't the Adelaide University evaluation released regarding Hinklo? I spoke to cardholders who took part in that. Where's that evaluation? $400,000 worth of blocks. The assumption. Well, I had many families that would go out to a normal place where they would go for a birthday dinner, and the card declined because they didn't realise it had been put on a banned merchants list. These people weren't going out to drink. They were going out for family events and being embarrassed in public they couldn't pay their way. To assume everybody's just drinking and gambling. I noticed in the Courier Mail they not talk about casino. We don't have a casino up here. I don't know where they get this idea from. People don't have casino up here, you know what I mean? And as for the pokies, well, the first 12 months of the trial, the pokies actually raked in $1 million a week more with the card in the region. It just shows that people on social security were not the people hanging out at the pubs. It was the grey nomads, the tourists. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. So do you have like an alternative solution proposal?
Oh, here we go again. How about we put the funding back into homeless services, right? We create housing, affordable housing, right? We put money into drug and alcohol rehab services, right? Instead of just leaving people who need those services to wait on 12-month, 18-month wait lists or expect them to find money to go private. You know what I mean? How about you put back some of the cuts to all of the mental health services, the health services, the education services, the cuts to TAFE, right? And the attack on university fees for lower income families. How about we start looking after the community and the people instead of putting all the money into private companies like Indu, right? Or soon to be the banks if they get their way, and leaving people in abject poverty and ended up homeless through no fault of their own, or having their credit ratings destroyed through no fault of their own, and being treated as though they're some second-class citizen with their consumer rights removed, their statutory rights under law removed, their autonomy and their privacy removed, it is financial abuse. If this happens in a domestic situation, this is financial abuse by the government's own terms.
Perfect. Anything else that you'd like to add, Catherine?
Oh, I'm really angry with this. I really am, because it's constantly kicking people when they're down. All right? Our Prime Minister yesterday says he wants to work with women, all right? And yet here they are instituting policy, right, that is detrimental to women, that traps women into domestic violence because they don't have access to cash to get out. They can't just go and book a motel room because all your motels and most of your caravan parks are cash only or not Indu acceptable. You know what I mean? Or transferring people that have come out of domestic violence to card regions to put them onto the card, because apparently now the crime of being a DV survivor and being made homeless is your punishment, is you'll be sent to a card region to be put on a card. It's despicable how women are treated in this country. Yes, there is men on this card too. We can't get the breakdown of figures from the DSS, but the majority of people on the card are parents and single parents, carers, and women, and children are suffering. Children are missing out on stuff at school. They're missing out on basics because the card doesn't work. You can't access eBay. You can't access secondhand without a permission. This is wrong. This is a social and financial apartheid being put in place, and Australians should stand up and say, no, this isn't on. We're all Australian citizens together, right? And we deserve our equality and our equity, and we deserve, right, the rule of law and non-discrimination, all right, and the presumption of innocence for all citizens, not just politicians, okay? Because people who are forced onto this card are branded guilty of being an alcoholic or a gambler or a druggie, and nothing of the such. Do you know what I mean?
I do. Thank you very much for your time, Catherine. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you.
No, all good. Cheers. Bye.